Tony, we're on.
Hello and welcome to Putin Football First. I'm very tired. I'm Tony Vidray, and this man beside me, Jonathan, is even tireder. So sit down and pay attention.
Thank you for introducing it that way. And we've just been discussing the pitfalls of watching too many World Cup games, and we think it's an epidemic that's swept across the nation. But then what would we know? We just sit here talking shit.
We're just sleep deprived.
20 minutes every day.
I've employed the sailing method during this World Cup.
3 hours on,
3 hours on, 3 hours off. That's how I'm surviving.
I've just employed the everyone gets stuffed method, and I'm watching the football I want to watch. But no, seriously, wives, husbands, children, if you're enduring a family member at the moment that has World Cup fever, get out of their way is all I can suggest.
Leave the house.
Yeah. And if you're one of my family, that goes for you too. All right.
Are you suggesting your personality has changed slightly during this World Cup?
Totally. Yeah, I'm not usually this nice.
What's wrong with you? I'm the same snippy arsehole I was before the World Cup.
Well, that goes for all accountants around Newcastle, doesn't it? It's that time of the year for them.
Get me started.
I think we have already.
What happened to episode 12, Jonathan? Tell us.
Look, before we go much further, I do need to apologise. You are welcomed to the 13th episode of Putin Football First this evening, but those of you that watch us every day, both of you, will have noticed that episode 12 has only just gone up. We apologise for that. We're still doing battle with FIFA's World Cup fingerprint software thingy, and they deemed us last night to have used 6 seconds too much of their footage. So we've adjusted and we've put that up, and you can watch episode 12 and episode 13 all at once.
Can we refer their decision to the VAR? Is it something that
we've tried? It came back a lot like Sweden's non-penalty was rejected.
Unbelievable.
Never mind that we're promoting their event. Look, before we go too much further, let's talk about the shirts we're wearing. I'm toasty warm here in the latest Liverpool. I don't know why I swore I'd never be caught dead wearing Liverpool, but this is actually quite comfortable and quite a nice jacket. Thank you, Everything Football. This is rather nice today. And, of course, you are.
I'm celebrating Tommy Rogic one night early.
Indeed. There we go. I knew we'd find a reason to be wearing a Celtic shirt. It's your colour. I think it's your colour.
Yeah, no, it works.
Yeah. And with that in the middle, there's a bit of an Iron Man look happening.
It does.
Or is that blue? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, thanks Everything Football for that. We're going to move into a cracking show tonight. We've also got our guest England match reporter, Adrian. And
can we keep him down to 35 minutes of euphoria?
It's going to be really hard, but we're going to try. And plenty more coming to you right after this break.
What break?
Welcome back, and it's the time of the evening when we go through last night's matches, and they had serious implications.
They were terrific.
Tony, before we go to the England-Panama game, because we will get Adrian the Pom in for that,
yes,
as painful as that will be, let's start with Japan-Senegal.
Yes, Group H, your favourite group. You went for Japan, I went for Senegal. For a moment there, I thought I had bragging rights. Senegal did go ahead twice. It ended up enthralling to all draw. Japan, I thought, were very ordinary right up until they scored the goal. They were
Everybody says that about Japan before they score.
And then all of a sudden they got their goal, big long diagonal ball, and they came out of their shell. Should have scored again. Really should have scored again. They missed some really clear-cut chances. The strikers could play for Australia. The way they missed, in front of goal.
It's a shame it's not on the clip right now.
You'll see. But
a lovely miss in front of from the 6-yard box.
Japan did a lot better than I gave them credit to, and it was a good. Well, it was an interesting result for both of them because with the other result, nothing's certain in that group, as we'll see very, very soon.
Well, let's talk about the other result because sadly it's the end of the road for Adam Nabalka.
Yes,
and his dream of he's the coach of Poland.
I knew that.
Do you watch our show? Coach's Corner.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that bit. Yeah, right.
The bit everyone watches. Poland couldn't do it last night against a rampaging Senegal.
Colombia.
That's what I meant. And the second game last night.
Colombia. Okay. It's Colombia.
Was
it Nigeria?
You're going to edit
Tunisia?
that out, aren't you? The second game last night. Let's go over that. Japan and
stick to Coach's Corner. Colombia. Hammers.
It's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by frozen chickens.
Yes, Colombia. You were going to say.
Colombia-Poland. Colombia, the mighty James finally came out of his skin. While he didn't score, he certainly played a very large role in the 3 goals that they scored over Poland. Poland, it has to be said, looked a little lacklustre.
Yeah.
They did rely on Lewandowski too much last night.
And like Argentina, the players
Like
or the teams that played against them just cut off supply to their number one striker. They cut off supply to Messi. They cut off supply to Lewandowski.
That's right. That's right. But it has to be said, the goalkeeper had a fairly ordinary game as well. Let through a bit of a sitter, I thought, for the first goal. But that is the end of the road for Poland.
That's it.
1 out of Group H, but there's still 3 that could make it through.
Three need to fit in a 2.
Indeed. So now's that time where we do have to throw to Adrian the Pom. We have to let him have his moment in the sun. And we'll be right back with Adrian the Pom.
We'll go and grab him. And here to give his unique take on the England-Panama game, welcome back, Adrian. Now, Adrian, if you can keep your euphoria down to like a mild roar and keep your segment under 35 minutes, we'll be good.
I'll do my best, Tony, because massive game, lots of goals, ecstatic the entire night.
All right,
Here we go.
Let's leave him to it.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. So, England-Panama, 6-2. Beautiful game. 3 words, football's coming home. All England fans know what that means. Football's coming home. That's all I'm going to keep saying. Panama, doesn't matter. So, trashing, I would say. Panama stood no chance from the beginning. We just fought. Goals. After about the 4th goal, I forgot to watch the game. Remember stuff for this because I was just ecstatic for the win. I was like, come on, we're doing it, we're going to win. Despite even more pulling in the box, the same as the first game, on Kane, we still got the goal. I'm wondering if it's now a Southgate technique or tactic to actually get Kane to be brought down, or everyone distracts him from the ball and then someone else heads it in. Works perfectly, so you never know. We'll have to see what happens next time. And at half-time, I was looking up the results for the biggest World Cup win ever. So I don't know if Tony knows what that is. Football knowledge?
10-1.
Correct. Teams?
Hungary and El Salvador.
Year?
1980 something, 2.
Well, he's got it. There you go. Football knowledge. But yeah, I was looking it up, hoping that England would push, try and get that score. But no. Unfortunately, they parked the bus, held off. They did get another goal in the second half, but just didn't quite get up to that big score. But to be honest, I was happy when Panama scored the goal because I felt kind of bad for them. Despite I wanted England to win, the goal they scored, they went ecstatic. They cheering like it was a grand final victory, as opposed to 1 goal to come back from 6. But that was fine. But in the end, poor marking by England team let the goal in. We're going to have to work on that the next game, but got the win regardless. Also cleaned up the goal difference from Belgium, so top of the group. So coming to the 3rd game next Friday night, will be really interesting to see whether it's a cracker game, both going for top spot, or they rest key players, take it easy, and it just fizzles out to a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw. But I don't know, we'll have to see what happens come next week. So all in all, ecstatic, still buzzing. Second half was a little bit on the boring side compared to the first half, purely because they took it easy, but I'm pumped for the 3rd game. England going through to the knockout stages. Thank you, boys.
All right, thank you, Adrian. That was relatively painless, I thought. But, a couple of other facts about last night. Did you know that Harry Kane's hat-trick is only the 3rd English player to score a hat-trick in a World Cup?
I did not, but...
And did you know it's the first time since 1966 that England has scored has scored 4 goals?
I did not.
There you go. And did you know that last goal by Harry Kane...
I don't really call it a goal, though. I mean, come on. Did you see it?
I don't think we should call it a goal either. But it was the most creative goal Harry Kane scored this World Cup, old lad. But
apart from the fact he was a metre offside.
There is a record broken with that one as well as well as a metatarsal.
Oh, there you go.
But the record is the longest passing segment of England ever in a World Cup. They actually had 25 passes before he accidentally
there were 3
over the keeper.
Yeah, got in the way and flicked
25 passes, which just goes to show, as all coaches say, passes win matches.
That's right. And I'll look forward to the tactic in the next match where they're going to kick it into the back of Harry Kane's head and just look for the deflection of his head into the goal as well.
He'll be the one lying on the ground.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Adrian.
Before you go, can we have a look at this wonderful moment that you picked out from last night's match?
Yes, we can. Harrison, can you put that one on for us?
We've got another one.
Just slide backwards, Adrian.
Just slide that way.
This is a little scene bit of footage from last night's game. Watch the Senegal player after one of England's goals.
So have a goal scored.
Here he goes.
Here.
He's got the ball. Who
We're
hasn't done
kicking
this?
off. We're kicking off.
Except,
Come on,
we're running the other way this time, are we?
Come with me. He looks over his shoulder as if he's guilty.
Wait for it. Keeper gets it going, what the hell? So now they're going to have an argument about it.
You said to do it. It was your idea.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you very much for
No
your
problem.
incisive report.
Well
We'll
done, mate.
see you
Thank
after
you.
the next game.
Indeed, thank you for being here.
Yeah, a couple of other things about that the matches last night.
Mm.
England's use of set plays. I don't think we've seen set plays used as well so far this World Cup. There's been a big reliance on individual players from set pieces, but if you look at England's goals, a couple of them were almost precision
Clinical.
set plays.
Clinical.
Yeah, it was great.
Training ground stuff.
And the other thing that I noticed, Japan using the offside trap. We haven't seen that since...
Under sixes.
There we go.
Right this way.
Which year in the World Cup? But no, Japan brilliantly used the offside trap, and the thought occurred to me, because occasionally they do.
When they stuff it up, when the one person doesn't get the memo and stays back.
See, what? Huh? No, with the VAR, you can now use it, because the fear before, if you use the offside trap, because it's often a very fine line, notwithstanding the way they stuffed the Jets grand final VAR, but with the VAR you can now use the offside trap properly, and somebody will see it.
Yeah, that's it.
If the VAR is in fact in that day.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, the VAR still stuffed up last night. The Harry Kane off the heel goal, he was offside by a full torso in front of him.
No, it was
full torso.
No,
there was the line.
It was less
full
than
torso.
a torso. It
Go,
was more,
go until Tunisia,
more the
where
back of
it was,
a foot.
Yeah, that's it. Look until Tunisia,
anyway,
where the player was like, it was probably a hand in front. It was terrible.
they got it wrong in the Jets game too, in the grand final.
This is the World Cup. This is the World Cup.
Less important, but anyway,
it's killing me.
We're going to move on now and talk about the results and what's happening with the tables, because we're now into the last round of group matches, which means half the decisions have already been made.
Yep.
And let's go through the groups and talk who's in, who's out, and who might be in or out.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so Group A and Group B. Group A, Russia and Uruguay are pretty much through. There's no way it can be anybody else. So 1 and 2, it's just a question of who wins that game, determining whether they're first or second. Right? And Egypt and Saudi Arabia, bad luck. We'll see you next time. But Group B, who are the people they play in the next round?
Yeah,
how's that looking? Because
Russia,
you'd have to assume Spain's going to get through.
Russia and Uruguay. The key there was Russia's big win over the Saudis. So not really. I mean, I think they'll want to finish top, the Russians. And
Uruguay could smack them 6-1.
Look, again, if Uruguay win, they'll top the group. But I think Russia are going to try and avoid Spain. Who might finish?
Imagine why.
Who might finish top of Group B? So
how much does Spain cost to buy?
Sorry,
did I say that? Oh,
sorry. Too many payolas. but even, look, again, think of the impossible. Your favourite team, Iran, if they cause an upset and beat Spain, and Portugal win.
Iran are playing Portugal, aren't they?
Iran are playing Spain.
They're playing Portugal, and if they beat Portugal, they'll
leapfrog Portugal.
They'll actually knock Portugal out.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, come on, Iran.
It's amazing you could, win and a draw.
It's popular to be anti-Ronaldo, but come on, Iran.
And you still have it, a win and a draw, and you're not secured of a second round spot. All right, let's move now to groups C and D. Mm-hmm. So
I think France is through, isn't
it? France are through, and again they can fight out for top spot. My concern here is Denmark need to lose to give Australia any chance to catch them, and we'll catch them on goal difference.
Yeah, and here's the big decision, right? Because France are through whether they like it or not. They're going to be playing some of their lesser players. Well, they like it. But are they going to play hard against Denmark, or are they going to rest the important players? It doesn't matter if they lose this game. They're going to rest them and just sort of write this one off.
I think France will want to finish top. They're going to want to avoid meeting Croatia, who look likely to finish top of Group C. Mm-hmm. So my gut feeling is it's going to be a staged draw. So that'll mean that Denmark, will get through, and that'll mean that the Australia-Peru game will be.
Well, you heard it here
pointless.
First, everybody. Tony has called a staged draw for the France-Denmark game, which would put France and Denmark through.
Yep, that's it. So, and then looking at Group D, Nigeria, they're well placed. Argentina's hopes that they're still alive. They need to win.
Let's just say Croatia's through.
Croatia's definitely through. And if Nigeria win, they'll simultaneously eliminate Iceland and Argentina. Amazing. So Argentina need to win and rely on other results.
Have you heard about the Argentina mutiny?
No, I haven't.
This is
yet.
not a bad dad joke. This is real.
Is this about?
No, no.
This is the Falkland Islands.
The Argentinian players on Friday night called a meeting with their football association and the team staff, and basically said Sampaoli. And it's interesting. I haven't done a coach's corner on Sampaoli, but I should have. He's the one coach in the World Cup that's won nothing, and now his players don't want him there. He played a 3 defence against Croatia, and we all saw how that went. So the players have actually said, we're not going to do anything under him. The the Argentinian FA has said, mate, you're fired after the tournament, but we're going to leave you on the bench. And I don't know who's actually going to be calling the shots for the next game.
That's unbelievable.
So as our friend Yuri said, it's going to be quite messy in the camp over there at Argentina.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, I digress. Please tell us about Group E and F.
No, E and F together. So again, it's not cut and dried. Serbia have got everything to play for. They play Brazil. They beat them. They're going to qualify. And again, Switzerland. You'd think that they'll do the job against Costa Rica. So I think Switzerland are through. The other one, I think Serbia are going to really take it to Brazil. I think Brazil.
You think Switzerland are going to go through? Because if Switzerland goes through, Germany don't.
I think Switzerland will. No, this is Group E. Germany's
in the people.
Group.
It's up anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, Germany's in Group F. So if Switzerland beat Costa Rica, which I think they will do, if Brazil draw with Serbia, they'll push Brazil in the second spot.
Sweden, that's right. You're right.
This is the most intriguing group of all, Group F, because if Germany beat Korea 1-0, and if Sweden beat Mexico 1-0, you're going to have this unique situation where you're going to have 3 teams on 6 points, and all of them will have a 3-2 goal difference, for and against.
So what does it come down to then?
Well, what happens, it's the head-to-head results they look at first, but they've all beaten each other, and so the goal difference is the same, the goal scored is the same. They actually use this thing called FIFA's fair play system, where they'll count up...
I mean to laugh.
Yeah, they'll count up the yellow and red cards. There's a system whereby yellow and red cards carry a certain number of points, and the 2 teams with the fewest amount of points will go through.
Sweden could go through because they've had less yellow cards.
Correct. That's it.
I want to see that.
Now, I think Germany will beat. Now, this is what will happen. This is the amazing thing about Germany scoring in the 95th minute. They're on the brink of elimination. If they beat South Korea by more than 1 goal, which they will, they'll top the group. So they'll end up topping the group, which
is a shame. And then we want Sweden to come. So Sweden has to win as well, don't they?
They do. Well, if they do, they knock out Mexico, which again is
would be sad for us who are watching because you're wearing green.
That's it. All right, now to the last 2 groups.
Perhaps
G
the most
and H.
exciting 2 groups of the entire World Cup.
The most exciting, not. So what will happen here? So as you said, Belgium and England. Now they're on top of the group, and extraordinarily, with the result last night, they've both got the same for and against 8-2. Now again, if they happen to play out a draw, FIFA are going to have to separate them with the whole yellow card, red card scenario.
Which is more likely, isn't it?
Yeah. So the other 2 are already eliminated. So look, I think both of these teams will beat whoever comes out of Group H.
Well, currently as it stands in Group H, whoever wins Group G is going to be playing either Japan or Senegal.
But again, Colombia is still in it. So Colombia, if they beat Senegal...
You'd have to
Colombia,
say they will.
I think they'll win. I think they'll eat from one of these 2 teams. And Japan...
I think Japan will go through.
Well, again, Japan played Poland, so Poland are out. What sort of Polish team are they going to,
watching Poland last night, I don't think they're going to be watching much at all.
Yeah, that's it. So if Japan avoid defeat, I think they'll go through, and I think they'll go through with Colombia. So, but I think these 2 teams will fall at the hands.
So we need Iran to win. We need who's my other Belgium to win.
Belgium, yeah,
because then they can play Japan in the next round.
We need Iran to beat Spain. We need Australia to beat Peru.
Iran's playing Portugal.
We need France to beat Denmark.
Yes, we do. And let's talk about that. France does need to beat Denmark, and we need to beat Peru.
Yes.
My fear is that France won't be trying. My fear is that they're going to park the good players, bring out the reserves, kick it around a bit, be happy with a draw.
Look,
that's all they need, and Denmark slide through.
Yeah, I think both teams will come out because Denmark have to avoid defeat. They've got one eye looking over their shoulder at the Australian match. So the first 25 minutes to 30 minutes will be frenetic, but then all of a sudden they'll fall into a pattern.
Whatever.
Whatever.
And you being a Peru expert, how's Peru going to go against Australia?
Look, they're a proud South American team. I don't think they'll lie down. I think they expected more out of this World Cup, and I think they owe it to their fans. They've already said this, that they want to come out and win, and they're keen for a game. So I don't think it'll be a dead rubber at all. I think it
won't be a
not
dead
for
rubber.
them.
Australia
for
will be going hell for leather.
Yeah, for
and
them.
look, if we can find someone that knows how to put the ball from the 6-yard mark into the goal, we have a chance. Do you think Timmy? Are we going to get Timmy on?
Look, I'd hate to criticise Bert, and there's been a lot of talk around the lineup. I think Cahill should have come on in that last 15 minutes of the match. The terrific chance that we had where Arzani got around the defender and cut it back.
Yep.
Had Tim Cahill been in that spot, he would have known.
He would have mopped that up beautifully.
He would have known where to stand to score. So, he should have brought him on.
Yeah, but that's the past. Is he going to play? Is Marvite going to put him on in the game against Peru?
I think in the back of his head he will have heard the criticisms, and I'm tipping Timmy to come in 15-20, definitely.
Well, there we have it, everybody. That's the implications of tonight's games. We'll be right back after this break. All right, we're quickly going to just recap tonight's games because some of them are rippers and some of them, well, frankly, you wouldn't get out of bed for. Let's go through them. Russia, Uruguay.
Yep.
It's only first and second they're playing for. They're both through. Are they going to go at each other, or are they going to rest their players?
I don't think I think Uruguay will go for it because they won't want to finish second to play. Say they might finish up against Spain,
yeah.
So they're going to try and avoid Spain. Although Uruguay might go flat out, finish top, and then Spain will finish second.
Spain anyway, yeah.
That's it. So I think Uruguay will go for it.
Okay, you're tipping Uruguay.
I think so.
All right, Egypt and Saudi Arabia. That's one I think most of Australia will be getting up for, won't they?
I don't think, unless you're in Western Sydney, I don't think you'll get up for it. I should have said that. Can you edit that bit out, please?
Easy to live by the sword.
Edit that out.
Oh, I said that. Sorry. All right, let's
That's
move
words.
straight along. It was. I didn't
words.
mean it, honestly.
Phew, you took the hit off me now.
God, yeah, we're at 60 Hunter Street, Newcastle. Okay, the big game tomorrow, the one everybody really does want to get up for is Iran-Portugal. I'm going to tip Iran. Now, Portugal's going to give it to them in the first 60 minutes, but I think Iran will hang in there. Ronaldo will run out of steam.
I think so.
He might score once, but I think this could be a lot closer than anybody would want it to, other than the Iranians, of course.
Look, again, Portugal have got a history of losing it in the World Cup. They just lose their cool. They get players sent off, the Diego Figo.
They've been pretty good so far.
But they're disciplined this time round. But if things don't go their way, I think... Yes, I think potentially if things go wrong, they could get a send off in the first few minutes. I think Iran will try and shake them up.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, disrupt them.
Well, Queiroz is a wily old coach. He knows what he's doing. He's got them this far.
Yep.
They've really given it to everybody. So I think this might be Iran's night. Last game tonight, Spain-Morocco.
Spain-Morocco. Look, I don't think Morocco will cause too many problems for Spain. I think they should finish.
Now, before we move on from all of this, there is an issue that came up that I want to bring up, and that is the Swiss
racism
players.
From us?
Yeah, well, inadvertent racism anyway. But politics in the World Cup. It's got to be one of the most political organisations in the world. But the two Swiss players,
I'm not going to do
after they
do
scored,
the hand symbols. Yeah.
After they scored, made the hand symbol. Word is that it was just a reflection of their heritage.
No.
It wasn't anything too drastic, but they made the symbols, and they are actually up. They're being investigated. There is a hearing, and they could get 2 games off. This is the 2 best players in the Swiss team. Looks like Switzerland's going to get through. Looks like they'll be playing without their 2 playmakers because of that.
There'll be an inquiry.
Fair or not fair?
Look, I totally agree. There'll be an inquiry and they'll sweep it under the carpet. FIFA do not have the stomach for these sort of things. Drawing on my experience of other international events, aka Eurovision, where the rules...
You're comparing the World Cup to Eurovision.
I'm comparing the World Cup to
Hello
Eurovision.
to my friends in Israel, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. Well, again, Eurovision is one of these competitions they've got a lot of rules, and one of them is that the songs and all the things they do on stage
cannot be political.
And over the years, people will bring on a flag, they'll do something.
Hang on a second.
They'll do songs about war.
Look, far be it for me to admit to watching Eurovision.
I love Eurovision.
Me too. 2 years ago, the song that won.
1944 from Ukraine.
That's the one. You can't say that's not political, and yet it won.
That's it. And this year they were going to ban, or last year they banned the Russian singer because she went through, one of the forbidden territories. I mean, so this is a parallel. As much as people don't want,
let's bring it back to the World Cup.
This is a parallel to the World Cup. It's political, and there's countries that hate each other, and
yet there is a hearing.
And yet FIFA need to do something about it, and I bet they won't.
Well, let's wait and see, everybody. We should know within a couple of nights. But if they do take those 2 players out, Swiss is gone.
FIFA have a history that they want to line up all their crown jewels for a World Cup, and they're not prone to allowing their star players to miss crucial games. I'll tell you now, it won't happen.
Yeah, Switzerland's hardly a crown jewel.
Your argument has got as many holes in it as Swiss cheese.
Oh, and there you have it. Like a Swiss clock, he came in with the pun right at the end.
Let's wind it up.
Yeah, let's wind it up.
All right, that is it for Putin Football First for the final time. I've forgotten what I'm going to say.
We're going to throw to...
Look,
some of you may have noticed that there is a large amount of beer taking a formation. It's not a penalty in front of the camera, and it's not a tribute to the captain of Panama either.
Or to Mourinho, park the bus.
Mourinho or parking the bus. Thank you, Tony. This is actually our new sponsor. They finally delivered. Murray's Brewing Company, thank you so much. They've delivered what we needed to get us through the rest of the World Cup. And in honour of you, we're actually going to start a new segment, the Angry Man segment, which will be an award we give to the shittiest goalkeeper each night from now till the end of the season. So look out for that one. Thank you, Murray's Brewing Company.
Will you stop adding these new segments in? It's too much work.
Hey, it's beer. We have to celebrate. We have to give ourselves something to do. All right. With that, we'd also like to thank our other sponsor, Everything Football. Thank you for the fabulous gear. Get into Everything Football for your Liverpool and or whatever.
And you're
jerseys.
giving me a hard time for introducing Eurovision. You're wearing the scarf.
Oh, I know. It's not a good look. And look, speaking of looks, those people that have liked our Facebook posts and subscribed to our YouTube channel and even been to our website, thank you very much. Please tell your friends, share our posts if you like them. Don't just like the posts, like the page. And drop us a line too. Send us a message. We would love to hear from you. We've had some fabulous messages so far. In fact, in the next episode, we're going to have a new segment that is the best Facebook message we've had. So please, send it all in. There you go. That's what...
All right, that is it for Putin Football.
Start again, sorry. Response to a referee.
Oh, right, okay.
This is that time of the season, of the tournament. Can we just start this whole thing again? This is just...
All right, that's it for Putin Football First.
I'm not ready.
Oh, okay, I was.
No, she's got AIDS.
What?
Never mind.
That was actually rolling. All right, that's it for Putin Football First.
Keep going.
I can't keep going.
Don't let me stop.
All right, just keep going next one.